So if you are a salaried employee and you have one house property and certain income from other sources and no other income, then you don't need a CA to file your income tax return. You just need your 10 minutes to file your income tax return by yourself. Let's learn how. So this is the income tax portal. Even if you go in the help section, there it will show you, because the first thing question comes to our mind, which ITR to be filed. So I'll go to individual HUF salaried individuals, and here I'll say returns forms applicable to me. Though we have already covered this in our previous video, which form to be filed, but now we will do it in more detail. So first thing is ITR 1, which is Sahaj. This return is applicable to salary pension people. So either you're receiving salary or you're receiving pension. You should have one house property, not more than that. Now, either you're receiving rent from house property or you're paying interest on housing loan deduction under 24B, or both. And you have income from other sources, maybe interest, dividend, etc. And the agricultural income should be up to 5,000. Now, if you come under this criteria, any of these conditions you satisfy, you're director in a company, you have any unlisted shares, you have any asset, signing authority, or any income, any source which is outside India, located outside India. So in such cases, or even if you have ESOP, you have some brought forward, carry forward losses, you are not allowed to do ITR 1. ITR 1 is for very simple people. You know, the name suggests Sahaj. It is very simple. So it is for people whose income structure is very simple. Simple salary, simple house property, and chota mota other sources. Nothing else. Because the form is made in such a way. All right. And ITR 2, if you satisfy any of these conditions, then you go to ITR 2. Then you have to file ITR 2. And ITR 2, even HUF can also use ITR 2. ITR 1 HUF cannot use. Then ITR, if under ITR 2, also there is a restriction, you should not have business profession income. If you have business profession income also, then you will go for ITR 3. Then ITR 4 is also named as Sugam. That is for presumptive taxation people, which we have discussed in short, and we'll discuss more detailed later. So now, in order to file ITR 1, as I am salaried simple person, I'll be doing login. And you will be login with your account, with your PAN number, with your password. Once the login is done, you are on the income tax dashboard, and here we will be saying that we have to file a return. I'll be saying e-file, and income tax returns, file income tax return. All right. Now, in income tax filing return, I'll be saying, okay, I want to file for assessment year 23-24. Select mode of filing online. We will be doing it online, and we'll be saying, yes, we want to file a fresh return. And we are individual HUF, that it will select automatically itself. It knows whether you are an individual or you are an HUF. And I'll be saying, yes, I want to proceed with what? I want to proceed with the simplest of all, which is ITR 1. As I've selected ITR 1, see, it shows here also to you for income, for individuals being a resident, income from salaries, one house property. So all the conditions here also they are mentioning, so that you select the proper ITR, which is very important. Now it is saying you have to validate, then you have to confirm, then you have to verify. All right, let's get started. Now here you can select these options, whether you are filing for what is the purpose. You have incurred some expenditure, or you want to file before. I'll suggest the basic option, which is taxable income is more than basic exemption limit. Now, even after calculating you feel that no, my basic exemption is my income is less than the basic exemption limit, then also for start you can select this section and go ahead and say with continue. So we will be validating the pre-filled return. The returns are always pre-filled. Okay. The information like we saw AIS, TIS, Form 26AS. So whatever information it has already of us, it prefills automatically. It's auto populated basically. So I'll go on to personal information. You have to go inside it. You can't just ignore it. You have to go inside it so that you can provide confirmation to it. So there are 5 things. All right, I'll show you that. So it's loading and we will be verifying your name, PAN, your contact details. What is the nature of employment? So whatever is the central government, state government, CG, others, whatever it is, you will select. What your filing section, filing return when. So if you're filing before 31st July, before the due date, you will be selecting 139.1. If you're filing belated return, that is due date is over, so you will be selecting 139.4. But let's say I have already filed the return and I'm revising the return, so we will be selecting 139.5. And this is after condonation of delay. So it is a complicated section. When there is a delay and it is condonation is done by AO, then you select 119. So we will be mostly we all file before due date, we will be selecting 139.1. If you're doing it after due date, then do select 139.4. All right, so whatever is relevant to you. Now this is asking whether you want to opt for new tax regime 115 BAC, yes or no. Now if you remember, we already had a tool where we have checked what income to be, like we are having benefit under which section, new or old, which regime is beneficial to us. We already calculated, we already have put our data, and we know that new regime I'm taxable, this much amount is the tax, and under old regime this much is the tax. So therefore whichever is lower, I'll be selecting that. So you already know that you are taxable under which regime, that which regime is beneficial to you, old or new. So let's say I'll say yes or no, whatever it is. I suppose that old regime is beneficial to me and I'll say no. And if there is a refund, all the bank accounts you have to put it here, and you have to select one account which in which you want the refund to come in. At least one account should be selected in which they will credit you the refund, and then you will be saying confirm. Now there were 5 heads, right? See, there were 5 things: personal info, GTI, total deductions, tax paid, total tax liability. One by one, every one should be like this green tick, confirmed. So we have confirmed only one till now, which is personal information. I'll go to the second one, which is gross salary. All right, here there will be a lot of questions. No need to answer them. You can simply click on skip the questions. All right. Now they will pre-fill the return for you, whatever data, whatever is already available with income tax department. Now income from salary, you will be picking up your form 16 and accordingly you will be putting your data here. So if I take this form 16, which I already shown you in decode form 16, I'll be opening this. You remember form 16, we have all this. We have every month this much tax has been deducted, and these much challans, via these much challans it has been paid, right? And this is about form 16 part A, and this says details of salary tax paid. This is what, this is salary as per 17.1, and we will be filling it. We will be filling it 25, 57, 983. So you have to select edit. Most of the times it will be pre-filled. You don't need to fill it. So I'll be saying 2557,983. If you have some other, you will be putting on that. I'll be saying country, region I belong to, which is India. All right, let's say delete, because we don't have any retirement benefit account from any other country under 89A. So I deleted it. Now it comes to exempt allowances. If we see our form 16, what exempt allowances we have under section 10, this is the head, second point. We have only one, which is house rent allowance, which is 180, 150. All right. Even if you have more, you can just select it here. Nature of whatever it is, leave, travel, remuneration, allowances, death come requirement, whatever it is, you can select it from here. I'll select 1013A, which is HRA, and I'll put it here. So I'll say 180, 150, what the amount was. And it is just giving a warning that you can't you can't claim 80 GG again. All right, we know that already. And all right, after putting this amount, our net salary is calculated. Standard deduction 50,000 it already gave us, and that's it. We can say save. We don't want to, if you have another, you can click on another and you can add it, but we don't have anything else, so we will not be adding it, and we will be saying save. All right, so salary is done. If you have anything of house property, you will be putting up here. You will be saying add in the house property section. Whatever is the type of house property, self-occupied, let out, you will be filling that, or deemed let out. Let's say for self-occupied, now here, now you can, it's the option is you can have only one house property. If it would have been two or three, then I would have shown you other house properties also. So self-occupied, you have to put here whatever is the borrowed capital amount. So even if I put 4 lakh, you can see how much it takes. It takes, the maximum amount is 2 lakhs, which we know that's the maximum cap. Or if you are selecting let out, then the things will be different. You'll be selecting the rent receivable to you. Let's say I say that I am receiving the rent of 15 lakhs. All right, and tax paid to municipal authorities is 2 lakhs, and interest payable on borrowed capital. Now you can take any amount which is interest payable to borrowed capital. It could be 8 lakhs. It will just show you the amount after deduction, or even if I say it as 11 lakhs, then it will be like negative income from house property. So I'll say add, and I'll let the income be negative under the head house property. All right, once we are done with house property, so we will be moving on to other sections. The last one is income from other sources. So you can see this is all pre-filled dividend income, because this is actual income. So this is all pre-filled. Interest from deposit, interest from saving bank account. If you want to edit anything, you can edit also. All right, so this is all done. And if you want to, if I want to say no, I have one more income, so you can add another. You can say that no, this is not this much, and let's say I have an income tax refund of 33,000, though I don't have, but you can put it, you can edit it, all the information you want to, and you will be saying continue. All right, now once we confirm this, you can say okay, it is asking do you have any exempt income. So we have not reported any exempt income. I don't have any PPF. We are done with house property, other sources, and all these information, right? If you wanted, you could have edited. As we saw, you have to just tick it here, tick, and the edit and you can click on edit option and you can edit it. Like we edited for income tax refund 33,000. This was not pre-filled. This I pre-filled. These all were pre-filled. All right. That was 0. So now I'll be saying, no, I don't want to add anything more exempt income. Now I confirm this. So this is how we confirmed the second part also. See, first is personal, second is gross total income, which is confirmed. Third is total deductions, where we will go now. And now you will be filing. Now you will be saying, okay, whatever, if you have paid any donation, ATG, I'll skip these questions and I'll go and it helps us, definitely it helps us, but we know specifically kahan we want deduction. We know we have calculation that we want ATC, we have deduction under ATD, so we can directly go and fill it. If you have rent, then you can, if you have paid rent but you're not claiming HRA, then you can claim ATGG now under ATD. So when I'll be saying ATD in respect of health insurance, you see, even you don't know about any limits and you just fill the information you know. So it has two options. It is asking you whether you or your family member excluding your parent is a senior citizen, like I or my spouse or my kids. कोई senior citizen है, me or my spouse, I'll say okay, no, we are not senior citizen. All right, whether your parents are a senior citizen, let's say yes, they are a senior citizen. All right, so you can see when you're not a senior citizen, you have only two options: health insurance and preventive health checkup. So I will say my health insurance is 60,000. 60,000 I am paying, and for preventive health checkup I am paying 8,000. As you know, for preventive health checkup, the total limit it shows is for you and your parents both cannot exceed 5,000. So I'll say, all right, it is only 4,000. Okay. It doesn't allow us to put the amount. Now, even if you have put 60 here, it takes automatically 25,000 because that's the cap. So we don't know the figures, there is no worry. Now, if my parents would also have been below 60, now this option would have been open. All right, but I have said no. So this I have said they are above 60. So for parents, this option is open. Here the option is open. All right, now for them I have three things because they are above 60. So agar I am also above 60, I would also have three things: health insurance, preventive health checkup, and medical expenditure. Medical expenditure is the additional thing which is given for senior citizens. So I will say health insurance. Let's say for health insurance I have incurred 30,000. For preventive health checkup I have incurred 2,000. Now see, it is not taking even 2,000. Why? Because 4,000 I already did it there. So for preventive health checkup, maximum I can have here is 1,000. All right. So, okay. All right. And medical expenditure. Let's say medical expenditure is also 30,000. Now, the maximum limit for senior citizens, it could be me, it could be my parents, is 50,000. So 50,000 for my parents who are senior citizens, 25 for me, and the total comes to 75,000. So even if you put bigger numbers, income tax will automatically calculate it up to the maximum cap. Now this was about ATD. If you have ATG donations, if you have TTA saving bank account, if you have TTB, whatever sections you have, you can just go inside it and you have to edit it and you can fill it. All right, and then you can say confirm. It's also asking whether you have ATC, life insurance premium. If you have those, you can fill it that also, and the maximum cap remains to 1,50,000 under ATC. Now you can see all these three are confirmed. Now the tax paid, this 57,282 is the tax paid. It's not actually paid, but it is by way of TDS, or it is by way of advanced tax. It could be by way of self assessment also. So it is by way of TDS. So the TDS is 57,000. All right. And Yeah, I'll say I confirm. If you think that you want to edit anything, you can say ki no, I have done advanced tax also, I have done self assessment tax also, and you can just add whatever you feel that the income tax doesn't knows better. You can fill the data, you can say that this is my BSR code, um, this is the challan number and date of deposit. All right, so let's say 404 serial number of challan, it's 5 digit, and I'll say okay, this is the date when I have paid the self assessment tax and this is the amount 50,000. I say that this income tax doesn't knows because I have paid very recently. So my total taxes paid are now 107,282. So whatever it is, you have to fill it, and also your it will be pre-filled also, like you saw here. So this is tax paid, but this is saying what is the total tax liability? The total tax liability is 544,742. So you have to pay that much. Unless you pay that much, you can't click on proceed. You have to pay the full amount, then only you will be able to click on proceed, then only you will be able to provide confirmation to it. Also, the fifth part has to be confirmed. So we will be seeing this. This is the calculation. This is the there is no rebate 87A, the entire calculation. You can click on calculation and see the entire calculation also. 234A, B, C, there is heavy interest under section A, B, C, and also there is a penalty of 234F. Why is this penalty of 5,000? Because it's October right now and we are, it's the return is already delayed, it's belated. So it is saying total interest and fee is 68,106. So interest and penalty is 68,000, and the total tax which we are liable to pay is 544,742. Now I agree that yes, I am ready to pay 544,742. Now you can see all the 5 sections 2, 3, 4 tax paid liability is confirmed. And now when you click on proceed, it gives you the option to pay. And once you pay the tax, or the best thing is, what you do is separately, like we know how to pay self assessment tax, right? So you can just go and from here you can e-pay tax. And when you e-pay tax, when you e-pay tax from here, self assessment tax, and after paying the self assessment tax, once you pay the self assessment tax from here, this gives you the option, I'll say new payment. All right, and I'll say proceed. Here we can pay self assessment tax for this year. You can select self assessment tax, and after paying the tax with your, I'll say my tax was 544 something, right? 544 742. So once you pay the tax, once you click on continue, it will then take you to your banking website. It will ask you net banking, debit card. Then you select here net banking, debit card, whatever it is. Once you have paid the tax from here, you can go back to e-filing returns. All right, the draft will be there, and you can go back to the, you can go back again to the income tax return, and then you can simply file it. You just have to, because then all the 5 boxes will be, I'll say yes, resume filing, which I have left in between, and I'll say it okay. Now all the information, you just have to confirm it, verify it again, and when you click on proceed, your income tax return will be e-filed. All right. Now when you finally click on proceed, there are 2 more steps to it. One is to e-verify and the other one is to download your acknowledgement, which we will learn.